What's up, guys? This is Review It. I'm Kelly.
And I'm James.
And today we are reviewing I, Frankenstein.
Ugh.
I, Frankenstein was directed by Stuart Beattie. It was also written by Stuart Beattie. He is the same guy who wrote the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. However, do not let that fool you. January has struck again.
Based on the graphic novel of the same name. I don't know when it came out or who wrote it, but this is basically a continuation of Mary Shelley's classic book, Frankenstein, where this movie picks up after Victor Frankenstein, who is the doctor, not the monster. Victor Frankenstein dies searching for his monster, or Adam. And Adam is basically all alone roaming the earth because he is immortal. And this movie kind of takes place in the present, where he is now involved in a war between heavenly gargoyles and demons. Ooh. Yeah, you can try and process all of that. I will say it's cool that they did gargoyles and demons instead of vampires and werewolves, because we've seen that 100 times before.
Alright, well, I'm going to let you give your review first. I'm going to step out.
Alright, first off, I hate this movie. I really do. I'm not going to rant about it like I did with Hercules, but I am going to talk about a lot of the things that are wrong with the movie, because there's quite a lot. But first, to spare this from becoming a rant, I will talk about the good things. Most of the good things have a bad side part to them. First off, I like the action scenes. They're filled with really bad CGI and really bad effects, but the action scenes are not the typical kind of thing. They're not a bunch of shaky cam, not in your face, you're right in the middle of the action. No, the camera is backed out a little bit so you can actually see what is going on. Okay, another positive thing about this movie, Aaron Eckhart. Now, yeah, it's a little weird to see Aaron Eckhart playing Frankenstein's monster. I don't know, it's just an odd choice to me, but he does a good job, even though his best is not good enough. The script in this movie is so bad, it just doesn't work for him. He can lead a movie, but he needs to have good writing and good directing in order to do that, and he just can't do it here. He can't save this movie. Alright, the negative things, and there's a lot. First off, the horrible special effects and the CGI in this movie. It is laughably bad at times when you see this gargoyles or the demons, and the demons look as if they have a mask on from Party City or something like that. The gargoyles look like fake. It's just kind of, I don't know, it sticks out, and it really takes you out of the really cool scenes of the movie when you're just kind of picking apart how fake everything looks and how bad it's really done. Like I said before with Aaron Eckhart, the script is horrible in this movie. There's nothing that requires any kind of thought from the viewer. Everything is spoon-fed to you. You don't have to think about it at all. There's no kind of big twists or turns in the movie. It is straightforward. And I don't know if it reflects the comic book. I haven't read the comic book. Nothing requires any thought whatsoever. This doesn't require any sort of intellectual thought to it. You just kind of go watch it. You just sit there, kill an hour and 45 minutes for popcorn flick. That's it. Another thing I really don't like about this movie is how serious it is. There is no humor in this movie whatsoever. Every character has this very stone-like look on their face, especially Frankenstein's monster. I can understand that he's not going to be very happy because he's an immortal being and he can't move on with life. He is stuck where he is. There could have at least been a few jokes in this movie. It is completely devoid of all humor. You are not going to get any laughs out of this movie from things that are intentionally funny. There's a lot of things, such as the bad CGI or the really dumb plot things, that make you laugh, but it's from the stupidity of the movie, and I'm sure it's not intentional. Okay, the last thing about this movie, and probably the biggest thing, is the fact that you go through this whole movie, and it's about an hour and 45 minutes or so, but you go through this whole movie, and really, there is nothing in this movie that makes you feel compelled to care about what happens. You don't care about what happens to Frankenstein's monster, you don't care what happens to the Gargoyle Queen, you don't care what happens to anyone. You just go through the movie, and you don't care. There's nothing that makes you want them to win. There's nothing that makes you want somebody to lose. It's just, the movie just kind of slops from one thing to the next. It's a bit of a mess. So, yeah, this is not a good movie, but I'm not going to rant about it. Kelly's going to come back in and she's going to give her opinion, and we'll give our final scores.
Okay, so I honestly really did not like this movie either. It's really, my biased opinion is this is not my cup of tea. This is not the type of movie I like. James dragged me to it. I didn't even want to see it, but I'm taking one for the team to do this ridiculous review. Okay, so there's maybe two things I do like about the movie. First thing, Aaron Eckhart. he is really good at the part that he is playing. I think considering the movie that he's having to play in, and the fact that he's the main character, he does kind of drive the movie. He keeps it going. He does his part well. So he does a pretty good job in this movie. Okay, so the second thing that I do like kind of about this movie, this is actually a plus and a negative for me, I don't really know, is the fact that it is entertaining, but not in the sense that it is just a really great movie to watch and it's just really entertaining. No, you gotta turn your brain off, you gotta turn off your logic, and you just have to watch it dumbly, and then it entertains you. So it can be entertaining, just don't think about it too much. Now that we got that whole kind of okay things out about the movie, let's talk about the bad. First bad thing, James kind of touched on it with the CGI, but I'm not going to talk as much about the special effects. I'm going to talk about the people. First of all, Adam, who is Frankenstein's creation, he is a creation, is supposed to look like a monster. In the books, he is sewn together by different body parts and different pieces of people. So his skin should look different. His body should be kind of deformed. He should look scary. He doesn't. The demons, they look, if you have ever seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer in the 90s, they look like the vampires and demons in this show, which is in the 90s. We are way more updated than this. This is ridiculous. The next thing, and really the last thing I did not like about this movie, was the fact that it's just not memorable. Like, I'm not going to remember this movie tomorrow. It's just not going to be remembered. At the end of the year when we do our best and worst movies, it's probably not going to make either one for me just because I'm not going to remember the movie. It's not something you just leave and you think, wow, that was great and remarkable. It's really hard for me to give this movie a rating because I can't tell you why I don't like it. I just don't really like it. It didn't capture my attention. It was not remarkable. It was just not a memorable, good movie for me. So that's pretty much all I have for this movie. I'm going to invite James back in and then we'll give our ratings. Now it's time to give our final rating on this movie. I'm going to go first, and it's probably, actually my rating might shock you because it seems like I just really, really, really hated this movie, but there are some okay things about it. It's not something that I would just pick to watch. Again, I didn't even really care to see this movie. I just did it to see it. But I would give it probably the discount bin. Wow. Because if you just want to kind of sit down dumbly and watch a movie just to watch a movie, get it out of the discount bin. But
wow, that is really generous. You pretty much know how I feel about this movie. I hate it. It's even Bill Nye playing a bad guy like he always does. Even when he does that, this movie sucks. It's not good. I hate it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just say this. Avoid it. It's not a good movie. It sucks. I mean, I can't, other than what I've said, I hate it. So, yeah.
There you go. As you can see from our ratings, if you watched our rating for The Legend of Hercules and hopefully listened to it, then you'll see we gave it the exact same rating. I gave Hercules discount bin. James gave Hercules avoid like a plague.
I'm going to ask you something. What is worse, this or Hercules?
Y'all are going to just freak out on me, but I actually liked Hercules better just because it has killing Lutz.
What?
And I liked watching it. So, this is just not my kind of movie. I'm going to be honest.
Are you kidding me? Wow.
The question is, you gave them both avoid like a plague, which means you didn't like either one of them.
Yeah.
Which one would you rather sit there?
Oh, man, I'd watch Frankenstein all day long if I could skip Hercules again. While they're both the same on my scale, I would rather watch Frankenstein because that at least had Aaron Eckhart in it and Miranda from Mass Effect. I mean, it's a bad movie, but come on, it's better than Hercules.
No, whatever. Okay.
Yeah, whatever. All right, so you've heard our opinions. If you've seen Frankenstein, what do you think of it?
If you've seen Frankenstein and Legend of Hercules, which one do you like better?
And if you haven't seen either one, because we're not going to leave anybody out, what's the worst movie you've seen this year? Or the best if you haven't seen any bad movies? Make sure to let us know in the comments down below.
And make sure you also subscribe to our channel. That way you can continue to get updates. We post a lot of videos in the week and you don't want to miss any of them.
Yeah. We'll have a lot of videos coming out this week. So make sure to subscribe and keep an eye out for us. All right, so that's all for us today. This is Review It. I'm James.
And I'm Kelly.
We'll see you next time.